The worst thing the police discovered in that forest wasn't the body of the missing hiker. It was the second body buried beneath him. A skeleton, older, partially collapsed into the dirt. The medical examiner said the bones had been buried for weeks, maybe longer. And when they checked the dental records, every filling, every cavity, every surgical mark matched exactly. The skeleton in that grave was mine. That's why the police asked me to record everything I remember about the case. Because according to their investigation, the man speaking into this recorder right now should already be dead. And the worst part is, the deeper I think about it, the more I'm starting to believe them. A few months ago, this was just another case for my channel. I run a small online channel where I analyze unsolved disappearances, missing hikers, strange vanishings, cases where people simply walk into the wilderness and never come back. It's a niche audience, but they love the mystery, the strange details, the feeling that somewhere out there, something unexplained is still happening. Most cases lead nowhere, but this one felt different from the start. The missing man's name was Daniel Mercer, 34 years old, experienced hiker, physically healthy, no history of mental illness. 3 months ago, he entered a remote national park in northern Colorado. He signed the trail registry, began hiking the South Ridge Path, and was never seen leaving. Search teams combed the forest for 5 straight days. Helicopters scanned the valleys. Dogs tracked every possible trail. They found nothing. No body, no backpack, no blood, not even footprints leaving the main path. It was like the forest simply swallowed him whole. At first, I thought it was just another tragic accident. But then the sightings started. And that's when things began to feel wrong. The first witness was a couple camping near the ridge trail. They told rangers they saw a man wandering through the trees just before sunset. He was walking slowly, unsteadily, like someone who had just woken up from a nightmare. He kept turning in circles, looking around, completely lost. The couple assumed he was a hiker who had strayed off the path. But when park officials later showed them Daniel Mercer's photo, they immediately recognized him. Except by that time, Daniel Mercer had already been missing for 2 full days. More sightings followed. A park ranger reported seeing someone standing silently beside the river late at night. A backpacker said he heard footsteps circling his tent at 3 a.m., slow, deliberate, crunching softly through the leaves. But every time someone tried to approach the figure in the woods, the person slipped between the trees and vanished, almost like the forest itself was hiding him. That's when I started digging deeper into the case, and that's when I found the photograph. The photo was taken by a tourist photographing a deer near the tree line. At first glance, it looked completely normal. Mountains in the background, trees glowing under the evening sun, the deer standing quietly near the trail. But something else was in the picture. Deep in the forest behind the deer, barely visible between the trees, someone was standing there, watching the trail. The figure was distant, blurry, almost hidden in shadow, but the posture felt wrong, too still, too deliberate. So I downloaded the image, opened it on my computer and zoomed in. The moment the pixels sharpened, my stomach dropped. Because the person standing in the forest looked exactly like me. Same dark jacket, same hiking backpack, same height, same posture, same build. At first, I told myself it had to be coincidence, some random guy wearing similar gear. But then I noticed something that made my hands start shaking. The backpack in the photo had a small tear on the left strap, a jagged rip in the fabric. I slowly turned my chair, reached for my own backpack and checked the strap. The same tear was there, same size, same shape, same place. And that's when the uneasiness started creeping into my chest. Because I had never been to that national park before. At least, that's what I thought. The deeper I investigated, the worse everything became. Out of curiosity, I started checking traffic cameras near the park entrance. I expected nothing. Instead, I found footage from 3 nights before Daniel Mercer disappeared. A car entering the park at 11:47 p.m. My car. Same license plate. Same dent on the rear bumper. For a long time, I just stared at the screen, waiting for the driver to step out. When the door finally opened, the man climbing out of the car was me. I told myself it had to be some kind of error, maybe a look-alike, maybe manipulated footage. But then I checked my credit card records, and that's when my heart started pounding in my chest. Because there was a gas purchase from a small town 15 miles from the park. Timestamp, 10:58 p.m. Same night. The receipt carried my name, my card number, my authorization code. I managed to obtain the station's security footage. The man standing at the counter, paying for gas, was me. After that, sleep became impossible. I started digging through everything: phone logs, emails, GPS records, and every new discovery felt like another nail sealing a coffin. According to my phone's location history, I spent nearly 6 hours inside that forest the night Daniel Mercer vanished. Not on the main trail, far deeper, miles beyond where tourists usually hike. Walking slowly through the woods in circles, but I don't remember any of it. Not the drive, not the forest, not Daniel Mercer. It's like that entire night was ripped out of my memory, erased. But the police had one final piece of evidence, a video recovered from Daniel Mercer's phone, and they insisted I watch it, even though part of me already knew what it would show. The video is 43 seconds long. It begins with violent shaking. Branches whip across the frame. Leaves crunch under frantic footsteps. Daniel Mercer is running. You can hear his breathing, fast, ragged, terrified. Every few seconds, he looks over his shoulder, like something is chasing him through the forest. At first, the camera only shows darkness between the trees. Then Daniel whispers something, 3 quiet words. I see him. His breathing gets worse. He stumbles, nearly drops the phone, and then he turns the camera around. For a moment, the forest behind him is empty, just tall black trees stretching into darkness. Then a shape appears between them, running fast, closing the distance with unnatural speed. Even through the shaking camera, even through the darkness, you can clearly see the person chasing him. Same jacket, same backpack, same face. Mine. The video ends seconds later. Daniel Mercer's scream cuts off abruptly. The screen goes black. The detective sitting across from me paused the video. Then he quietly explained what the search teams found 2 weeks later. A shallow grave nearly 2 miles from the main trail. Daniel Mercer's body was buried there, partially decomposed. But that wasn't the disturbing part. It was what they found beneath him. Another skeleton, older, more decayed. Forensic analysis showed the bones had been buried weeks earlier, possibly longer. At first, investigators assumed it was another victim, someone Daniel Mercer had killed, until the dental records came back. Every single match pointed to one person. Same fillings, same molar extraction from 2018, same jaw structure. The skeleton buried in that forest belongs to me. Which means one of two things must be true. Either someone out there looks exactly like me, drives my car, uses my credit cards, and hunts people through forests, or the person recording this statement right now isn't the original version of me at all. And if that second possibility is true, then there's one question that scares me more than anything else. Because if my real body has already been buried in that forest for weeks, then what exactly is walking around inside my skin right now? And why, every night, do I keep dreaming about running through dark trees, chasing someone who sounds exactly like Daniel Mercer? Thanks for sipping tonight's tale with Haunted Brew. Don't forget to subscribe and sleep tight if you still can.